Everyone. Thought I'd give a little bit of an update. It's day 5. Got some Latino music playing next door. It's a beautiful blue sky, sunny day. Last night and this morning were pretty rough. I woke up and I just felt really off, and I wasn't coughing, but as soon as I initiated that first cough, it was like a storm of coughing and a lot of mucus coming up. The mucus was green, which isn't unusual for an infection, of course. But yeah, it was just probably a good hour or so. Just heavy coughing, and the people that I live next to, they probably were like, dude, what the heck's going on over there? Because they don't know that I'm you know waiting on test results, and I don't want to scare them, be like, oh hey, by the way, I might be infected. So anyway, so yeah, as I've mentioned before, the pressure on my lungs has alleviated as of yesterday, so that's good. However, when I woke up this morning, my lungs just hurt. Not a tremendous amount of pain or anything. They just I don't know. They just kind of hurt, and they burn, and especially after coughing, they can burn quite a bit. So it's most of what's going on is in the upper lungs. I would say it's kind of in this area, not in the throat. It's all kind of from here and down. Like, it feels like the opening to my lungs is where there's like a battle raging, and any mucus that comes up feels like it comes up through that region. It's just sort of localized. Whereas when I still felt that tension and that pressure on my lungs, it was sort of at one point it felt like it was all the way through, but now it's all sort of just sort of through this upper region, and not in my throat and not in my sinuses. So very unique in that way. I feel pretty good right now because I took a hot shower, and once again, that really helps to getting that steam, that hot water and that steam into my lungs. It really alleviates a lot of the symptoms, so that's good. So yeah, we'll just, it's just a day-to-day thing. I'm not overly concerned, but this morning I was laying there, and I just read an article about exactly how this virus kills you, which didn't help, because I was sort of at in some ways kind of at my worst this morning, and I thought, man, this is not how I want to go out. Not, I don't think that'll happen. I do feel like I am winning this battle, whatever it is, even if the results come back negative. Whatever this is unpleasant, to say the least. But I do hope it's positive. As I've mentioned before, that would be really great to be confirmed positive, and then you just are kind of invincible out in the world. That would be really nice, and all of Nate's family as well would effectively be, you can make some very very clear assumptions, because we're in such close space. We share everything, food. I mean, we're like right next to each other. We touch each other. I mean, there ain't no way that, and not half the family is already, at least half the family's already been sick and infected, and the all of the girls except for Jenny haven't shown any symptoms, but everyone in that house is a carrier. Whatever I have, everyone in that house is a carrier. I'll tell you that much. And I definitely, whatever I got came from Nate's family, which is fine. We just kind of a theory for how this may have happened, through someone at Nate's practice or something, which is it's totally okay. I've told Nate this is a gift. If I come back positive, then he gave me the gift of the virus. If I recover, I mean, that's just a beautiful thing. Not recovering, not so much. So that's it. That's the update for today, day 5. I'm just documenting as I go, because even if this isn't the virus, well, if it's positive, then to have some documentation of the experience while going through it will be interesting. Maybe in years down the road, or my children might find it interesting, because this will be our generation's experience. This is like the Great Depression of our generation. It's what we'll talk to our children and grandchildren about. And so I'm just sort of documenting what I can in case this is it, and then I can sort of look back on what it was like when I went through this. And most of us at one point or another are probably going to have our own story, and we're going to unfortunately, most of you are probably going to get sick one way or another, and then you can describe your own experience. So if this is it, then this is how it's been going, and it's not horrible, but it is interesting and it is different. And one of the key differences about this virus, and I was reading about this yesterday, is that the reason why this virus has the ability the reason why it's so infectious and is so dangerous is because it's more dangerous because paradoxically it's less dangerous, or it's more severe because it's less severe, meaning that when you're infected, the symptoms are it's not like other sicknesses like a flu or a serious cold, where you really feel ill and under the weather, and nauseous. So this is different because it's purely a kind of a symptomatic experience. What those things that you have, the cough, uh, shortness of breath, those things, they're just sort of their own thing, and you don't feel a sort of overarching sickness or you're just really, I compare it to when I was going through that kind of bronchial thing at the end of last year that I had and Mom had, and a number of other people had. So this is not like that where you just really feel awful. No, this is just these symptoms, and so it's easy to fool yourself into thinking, well, I don't feel that bad, and it's not that serious. And so you go out in public and you do your normal thing, and you're just infecting so many people when you don't feel that bad. And that is how this virus that's why it's so dangerous and how it spreads so far and wide. So anyway, all right, family, take care of yourselves, and that's it for today. See you later.